Well, hi guys, welcome back to Karin's Orchids. And, well, it's a little bit too soon to say it, but winter is coming. The storm winds, lower temperatures, especially during nighttime. Daytime temperatures can still be quite high and sweaty. Look at storm winds, and we got about 12 degrees, and it will be about 8 during nighttime now. So it's high time to bring in my outside vacation orchids for this season. Yes, Sonhopias are really not adjusted to this kind of climate. So I better take them in today. Yeah. Okay, now let's move inside to a little bit cozier room, shall we? And while my dog is lying there snoring on the floor, me myself, I'm certainly not in the mood of snoring, since I saw when I watered and peeled up a few scale on my Bulbophyllum Medusae. But this is a new growth, right? I think I can easily tell the difference. This one has only been blooming for me once in November, I think, November, December last year, for the first time. So the buds were developing so quickly, so I didn't even have the opportunity to see the buds coming out and how they really does it. So it's the way it's done. So it's going to be a little bit longer, the spike, of course. And as I looked, I saw behind here another one. So this year, perhaps 2 or even more, maybe earlier than November, December. So everything is a little bit earlier or a little bit later, or yeah, my orchid doesn't really seem to be keeping the schedule properly. Nice. And yeah, for your information, this is my only Bulbophyllum with scale. They're not really susceptible of getting scale or catching it. But this one is the only one. Alright? And here is another transitioned orchid. It's my lovely purchase from Godefroyae from last summer of 20. RSC Crispin Rosales Lu Kang. Lovely, lovely blooms. Pinkish, purplish, goldish, whatever. Really lovely blooms. And I transitioned this really healthy one in the best shape of them all, I think this one was. But I took a chance and transitioned it, and it really, yeah, it really didn't enjoy it for starters. But now she's coming on really nicely. And the pseudobulbs are now a little bit plumper again. But get to the point, for the first time, a sheath. It's been blooming before, but not in my care. So the little sheath here on this, yeah, latest cane, shall we say? Yeah, almost latest, but it didn't really reach the size of the older ones, the previous canes, but it did develop this sheath, and it's filling it up. I can feel there's something down there. So let's just hope for some blooms. It would be so nice to see them. Such a lovely orchid. And it doesn't really need all that light. You can see all the spottings and the pigmentation on the leaves. Yeah. And on the pseudobulbs as well. So, yeah. I placed her a little bit more shady position here, and she seems to like it a little bit better since she produced this spike, since I moved her. And this marvelous Cattleya Harrisoniae, Volcano Queen, times Pinot. Yeah, it's blooming for a second time this spring and summer. It's a lovely, lovely lip, a little nose, beautiful pink color. And Pinocchio, number 4 on the same spike, is now open. Exquisite. Look at the hairs on the petals. Gorgeous creation. And watering time. Bulbophyllum aradum. I only water my Bulbophyllums about once every 10th day. Perhaps, or once a week, perhaps, yeah. Look, imagine my surprise. Are there really coming worms out of the soil? Two little nosy thingies down there. No, I think they are flower spikes. So, when you look, you find, all of a sudden, when you least expect it. Always. It's always like that with orchids. Just when you least expect it, there are spikes. So perhaps they will develop and not only blast when they reach a certain stage, as this guy. Yeah. So grateful I am today. Yay! Paphiopedilum Godefroyae, it's on its 21st day. And doesn't look as if it's fading or anything. Yeah, it still looks great. Look at it. Little dots in the center. Yeah. Beautiful Godefroyae. And this is a healthy disappointment orchid. Yeah, my Brassia Shelob token, which I thought would have the pink skirt. But it turned out to be the brownish yellowish one. But he's a heavy producer of spikes. 1, 2 good spikes, and down here, number 3. A bit poorer spike perhaps, but still 3 spikes. Or, well, as I look, perhaps I will see some more spikes, but it's going to look great, one in each direction. It's the Phalaenopsis bonensis, the species, which can bloom on the same spike for 1.5 years. I've been told. I've never seen it. It didn't bloom twice. Not even twice, I might add, from its last year's spike. But what she did do was create a new spike, this one, with a bloom. Yes, looks green, light green, new, fresh. And this one is the old spike from last summer, which I thought would, yeah, develop a little bit, a few more buds, but it didn't. It waited 1 year. But I think it's a beautiful bloom. Really, really nice golden color to them, shiny. And some purple to the lip as well. I never saw that before. Yeah, she's a beauty, shiny beauty. I was starting to wonder why my Encyclia Prismatocarpa, this lovely large orchid, never seemed to open up her buds. Yeah, they just seem to be stalling there. Yeah. But I've been able to see the dots shining through the buds for quite a while. So, and that's an indicator of them soon about to open. But it's not happening. So I checked a little bit, and of course, yay! Down there at the base, scale. A lot of scale were lurking, eating off the stem. And on the happy sap, which I thought was a little bit of dust, white spots on each and every one of them. You can see, perhaps you can see, it's not easy to focus when stuff moving about. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the happy sap, but there are a bit of happy sap on each and every one of the buds. But on top of the happy sap, I thought it was dust, but it was really scale. So, well, now I got rid of all of the bad stuff. So let's hope for the buds to manage. And if they don't, there really is a new sheath down there with something in it. So there's going to be 2 spikes. So Yeah, hope for them both, of course. Yeah, now at least I know the reason why the buds were stalling a bit. Yeah, that can happen. And in there, in my LC elegans, there will be blooms. Yeah, can you see the little shading down there in the sheath? Lovely. And the one sitting next to her is my Ble Cisele Bundchen from Lucke. And now you can see the strikings. They are really much more significant now, after a couple of days, or shall we say a week, since its blooms were just opened. So, they look better now, a little bit more as promised. Fading after 20 or 19 days or so, so not so long lasting, but yeah, average. And my fine friend here, Phalaenopsis Joy Fairy Tale Pyloric, is out with a 3-bloom spike for us. Rose and lemon and soap scent. Gorgeous fragrance. Not so heavy, but it's there. And I love this one. I think mostly I love it because of the orange patches to the petals and lip, I think. Yeah, they're lifting the whole orchid, the whole bloom. It's a beautiful one to have. It's blooming quite frequently as well, so yeah, it's a rewarding plant. It really is. Well worth having. And lovely root system. Sitting in bark and perlite, charcoal. Yes. And believe it or not, my Prostechea Cochleata is now finished blooming. You can see all of the markings on the stem where the buds has been, or shall we say blooms. Because she's working on her new next cane. That will bloom for us yet another 8-month time, I believe. Good plant to have. Can really recommend that one. And yeah, Phalaenopsis Bellina green times 987. Second one is still out. And new buds. And even under here somewhere. Ooh, yes. Yeah, some buds. Nice to see. And let's see what else have we got. Ah, this Phalaenopsis cornu-servi red. Yeah, this one had about 2 or 3 spikes when I got it. One spike stalled, or it's sitting there, down there at the base, to the left. And yeah, it opened up this lovely, let's focus now for us, opened up this lovely bloom today. And I didn't remember that the lip was supposed to be pinkish or purplish, so really, really nice. Beautiful one. And now after about 10 days, Phalaenopsis cornu-servi red's bloom is now fading, or it's overbloomed. And as a sequential bloomer it is, it's producing another bud next to it on the same spike. And it will go on like this for a while. My BLC Yen Corona Green Genie, or Green Genius. I've seen that interpretation as well on the tag. Yeah, it's been out for 3 days, I think. So it didn't make it for my July session, really. 3 buds, so this one is coming on and progressing better than ever. Last time it bloomed, I think it bloomed from this poor cane, underdeveloped one. And the time before, I think it had 2 or 1 blooms. And 3 years ago, it had 3, I guess. 2 or 3. No, 2. So this is the best blooming it's ever had in my possession. So yeah, and a lovely fragrance. I never noticed it before. This time I really did. Quite delicate. Really lovely. But as you all know, I do love greenish Cattleya orchids in particular. So beautiful. And this one was almost about to hit the bin. My Odontoglossum Stirbic purple. Until I saw that it's spiking. Strangely enough. So, this one will stay for a while, at least. And watering time again for my transitioned Cattleya something. Cattleya Monte Elegante. Sword to purchase from March 19. And it had its first bud blast in July 19. And since then, all that happened to it was a scale infestation. You can see on the leaves the yellowing patches and stuff. But 1 month ago, I sprayed it with leaf gloss, leaf shine, I don't know what you call it, but this is the first sign of scale I've seen on it ever since I sprayed it. So it's much better. Actually, so good that it decided to form a little bud down there. For the first time in 2 years. And it's keeping its schedule a bit. Last time it tried to bloom in the beginning of July. And this is the end of August. So, yeah. Hope for it to last and develop, of course. This one develops a nice, large cluster of blooms. A lot of blooms on the same spike. Multiple blooms. And what else? And it looks like Cattleya Monte. So it's related to Cattleya Monte. I think that's one of its parents. A nice one, really nice one. So, fingers crossed again for this one, or thumbs pressed. Okay. And yeah, the Cattleya miniata you already saw. Now it opened up all of its blooms. They are so lovely. Lovely splash. Sitting on my balcony. And yesterday I noticed this one. An early spike on my Engrechum sesquipedale variation Bosserii. It had its first blooming in November last year. So this spike is really early. And I think it's due to the little bit longer outside stay with lower nighttime temperatures and such than it had last year. It only stayed outside for a couple of days. So, yeah, really nice. And last but not least, well, yeah, shall we say, my Purpurata has been staying here for 2 months now, I guess, and as I looked into its latest cane, there's a bud, but I cannot find any sheath. It came out directly from the bottom of the cane, without a sheath, for the first time. This is not a common behavior for this guy, and it should bloom during springtime, April, May, perhaps, at latest. So, well, it's misbehaving, but it proves that it really would like to do something good, and that it's perhaps recovering. Yeah, with some new good roots here. So, yeah, this one can be a good plant again. And its paper-thin canes are a little bit plumper now after some time outside, as expected. So, well, I'm quite happy anyway. And this unexpected Purpurata spike, or bud, is now opening, turning downwards, showing us the ugliest side. But perhaps she will, yeah, look at it. She will develop to a nice bloom tomorrow. I will film her again tomorrow. Purpurata moon, and I thought its sepal would be bent backwards, but it has risen. So now it's upright. Good. But I don't remember it having this faint paintbrush purple tinges to the sepals and petals. Have a look at the throat, the golden veinings. Alright, I guess that was all, folks, for this Bloom and Spike session for the month of August. And I hope you had a good and great and nice vacation and such. So, I hope to make a little bit more frequent updates on a regular basis again. Now when everything is in order, almost in order in my apartment again, the rearrangement and such, it's all for a good purpose, so it would be great for me and my plants and everything else. My dog, of course. Alright, take care and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye guys.